Good morning and welcome back, friends. It's going to be 9 o'clock on Saturday morning if you're doing this project. So this one isn't necessarily a card. Check out this cute little Easter basket that we're going to do. So here's your project 3. So we are going to use the Easter basket dies, and you're going to be doing some of the die cut just because I don't want you to lose all the pieces. And then the Easter basket stamp set along with the paper. So this paper is a little bit different, has a little bit different of a sheen to it. So you're going to see that you have that. There's all kinds of things in our box. So we've got these. These guys are going to be for our eggs. So on the um, outside of our box, we've got 2 little Easter eggs. We have our peach pie ink. We're going to be doing some inking. We've got some 4x4s that you're going to do. So you're going to need your scoring blade or something that you can score with. On that, got a couple pieces here that you're going to make your baskets out of. Your ink, we're going to be using some of the Stampin' Blends. So these are the alcohol-based markers. We've got our cute little bunny, Memento ink, some sponges, and then some other paper that we're going to be die cutting from. So I'm going to take all of my stuff out of my box. Again, I just added these in. You are not going to need the stamp set. I have already have that out, but you are going to need the die cut. So the dies that you're going to need are the basket. This little one, this is going to be your strips that you're going to do some weaving on. Your egg, your bow. Oh, we need some blue in here. And your bunny stamp die. So we're going to do all of these dies. So, all right. Give me 1 second. Let me grab the blue and we'll be right back. Okay. So you're going to have a bag of white scraps. Just because there are so many different pieces in here, I think you can find some. If not, we'll open some other ones. So I'm just going to use a scrap of white. And I keep all of my scraps because they are all Stampin' Up! Colors in a bag that, this is Balmy Blue. We're going to use Balmy Blue, so you're going to have some scraps of Balmy Blue and basic white. So you're going to grab in and grab some of those. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our Memento ink. That one's real simple to open. We are going to go ahead and we're going to stamp our bunny anywhere on this little piece of white scrap. I love to keep my scraps because you never know, like, I just need a little piece of white. Okay, that is the end of our stamping. Pretty easy on the stamping. So I'm going to go ahead, clean the stamp, and you want to stamp first because we're going to do some coloring with the stamping blends, and you want it to let it dry just a little bit. So that's ready to go back into our box. We are also going to be doing, well, we're going to do a little inking, but you're going to need a bone folder as well. So I'm going to get all of my pieces here. We're going to take our 4x4 and we are going to score 1 inch. And I put this in here so you can see what it looks like. So we're going to take one of these because this is a lot of like die cutting pieces. So, and I didn't want them to get all discombobulated, I should say. So on your trimmer, if you have a Stampin' Up! Close to my heart trimmer, almost every trimmer will have 2 blades. It will have a cutting blade and it will have a scoring blade. If you don't have a scoring blade on your trimmer, you can use mine. Or I have a couple extras. Or on your trimmer, what you can do is you can use your bone folder. So I'm going to put my paper in at 1 inch. And let's pretend I don't have a scoring blade. I'm going to run and I can go right down there and I can score. Can you see the score line in there with the light just right? So I can score using that or a stylus. So I'm going to go ahead though, and I'm going to do it with my scoring blade up and down one time, an inch around all sides. What we're doing is we're making the little basket. Okay, so I've got my little score marks now. I know it's hard to see, but there are 4 score marks. So I'm good. And I'm letting this guy dry. I'm going to grab my scissors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to go to the next score line on 2 sides opposite of each other. There, there, there. And now I'm going to make a little notch just to that score. All right, pull that out. Same thing on this one. And it doesn't matter. These are just going to, so it's not so bulky for us. So there we go. This is really a cute little project. There's so many things that you could do with this. Okay, so we've got that done. Let's take our bone folder that we brought in. Now we're going to go and we're going to fold these all in. We're going to take our bone folder and crease them. Crease again. Because we're going to also let this dry while we're doing our other pieces. So this is the last side. Okay, so we've got everything scored. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring these in and we're going to glue them. And you can use, I would use something like a liquid glue, the tear tape you could use, but I'm going to use liquid because we got plenty of time here. And I'm just going to hold it till it sets for just a second. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing on here. We're going to do our little tabs lining up. Just hold it till it gives it a little, okay. So we're just creating the basket, the box part. So we're creating this part. And then we're going to just do the decorations on it. And one more. Decided this is probably, well, one of them, these today have a few more steps than the ones that you would have done last night. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. So we're letting our bunny get a little dry. We're going to take our strips, and you can do 2 of these at a time. You can do all of this 2 at a time. So I'm going to do this is going to get our Easter eggs. Now I do have some repositionable tape. Sure I do. This works great. It's a Scotch repositionable tape. Somewhere's the inside of it. It will get stickier as you go along. But what I would do is put this on and put it over, and then we'll put it on. So we know that that goes on there. We know this one is going to be our little weaving strips. So we're going to take, because we can cut most of this all on the same trip through the die cut machine. How about that? All right, we're going to do a little bit of that. Now you can save this for the next person because it'll stay sticky for a long time. Lots of rubber bands on this one. Okay, that's ready. We've got those pieces. Here's our balmy blue. Okay. And we've got our bunny. So we're going to line him up right just so that he's on the inside, just like that. And of course I moved him because I didn't have my tape ready. Okay. All right. And last but not least is our basket. And so we can get 2 baskets out of these because we need a front and a back. This one I would probably suggest doing one and then the second one. So you can run these twice. All right. Let me grab my die cut machine and be. Hi, welcome back. Got my machine ready. So yesterday, if you did the second make and take, you should have seen that we used 1 and 4. So 1 and then the to make our sandwich. Today, when we're doing our die cutting, we're actually going to use 1, 2, and 2 threes. I found you need the 1, you need the 2, which is your shim. I replaced one of my 3s with a magic mat. I like using it. I think it works well. It is a self-healing mat. Um, and it doesn't make my plate warp, which I like. All right, so we've got everything all with our repositionable tape on here. So we're going to go ahead, make sure everything looks good. So I'm going to start positioning it on my mat. Because like I said, I think we can do the majority of this in 1 or 2 passes. So got that there. And can I get my bunny in there on this one? I can. Okay. We're going to do 2 of them because we're going to do 2 baskets and we're only going to do one of those at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and run it through. If you have one of these machines and yours is new and it snaps and it crackles and it pops, that's totally okay. That's what it's supposed to do and makes all kinds of noises. It's okay. All right. So now I have a die cut bunny. Like I said, this is going to get stickier. You can always use it, like put it on your clothes or the back of your hand. And I like to just put them up there. So we've got a bunny. I'm going to put it in my little basket up here. So he's done. Now, these guys, yes, you have a lot of little strips. So you're going to need these to weave. So I'm going to put those in my little basket box that I've already made. And this part is not needed, so that's garbage. And I put my tape up there. All right. And now I've got my eggs. So I can pull off the tape. And I have 1 egg and 1 that is stuck to the tape part. All right, got the eggs are done. And now I have a basket. So I'm going to take my basket and I'm going to flip it around. Take that part out because I'm going to cut another one. And this time I'm going to cut the bow with it as well. All right. We should have all of our die cutting done. There's our second piece of our basket. And there's our bow. Die cutting is all done. All right, so our die cutting is all done. We're going to do a quick color. So we are using the light gray granite, dark bubble bath, and dark balmy blue. So let's start with the dark balmy blue. Um, each side has a brush and a fine point. So this is going to be our bow. So I'm going to go ahead, kind of make our bow look like a bow. Kind of just trace over these. And then I'm going to grab the brush end and I'm just going to color the ends of the ribbon in. So that's color over color. So now that bow is complete and we're done with our balmy blue. We're going to use our bubble bath and I'm going to use the fine point. And I'm just going to color the inside of his ears or her ears and the nose. And that's it. Then what we're going to do with the gray granite is, now this is all total personal preference. I like to use the brush tip, but some people like the fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of an outline. I don't press very hard at all, like almost non-existent pressure. Using a paintbrush. Okay. And then I'm just going to outline a little bit of the inside. If you want to color him gray, you sure can. You want to leave him just the way he is, you can do that. I'm going to color him a gray tail. This arm. All right, so that part is done. We're going to kind of let them dry. And we're going to do a little weaving. Got our eggs. We've got our eggs in our basket. We've got our bow in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of strips. We're going to do each side. And I know these are tiny. I only did 3. If you want to do more, go ahead. But it's just your standard weave. So to go through and weave in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay. So what I found was easiest to do when I was making the sample is I did the second one that was exactly the same right away. Since I had it, everything was the way it was supposed to be. And it saved a lot of time. And then I just spread them apart. Okay. And then I came back in with another one of the strips and I tried to, like turned it around so it didn't look exact. And then I wove it the other way. So it had that basket weave look. And it probably might even be easier to do it from this side. I don't know. Let's try it on this side. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. This is the reason I only did 3 per basket. Because I'm like, oh, I don't know how many I want to do. The one thing that's nice is the paper that we're weaving is actually a thicker paper. And it's got a nice texture, kind of a slippery texture on one side. So, where you. All right, I think we're good. Come on. Oh, there it is. I don't know if there's an easy way to do this or not. Um, if you find something easier, share it with the next people that are doing this one. This is probably the hardest part of all the make and takes. Um, just because it's tiny. And then just pull it through. Okay, that's why I only did 3. And you can even them out. We're just going to do the one side. I'm not going to do the other side on the video. Just a dot of glue. Dot, not like the other make and take where I had a whole pile of it. So I'm going to do the front ones first. If you get an excess of amount of glue, there is a glue eraser. It works pretty good. And it'll just peel off that extra glue. Unless you get a massive amount like I had earlier. Okay. We're going to flip it over. Do the other side. Hope everyone's having a great time. These are always such fun weekends. Okay. All right, now that we've got them glued down, I can go ahead, come in with my scissors and just snip those ends right off. Take off a little of that excess glue. And then we're gonna start kind of doing some assembly. Like I said, I'm only gonna put the one side on. So I'm gonna add my glue on there and position my basket. I'm gonna put a little glue adhesive on my eggs. Your fingers will get very gluey, sticky as well with this green glue. If anyone is allergic to latex, don't use this glue. It does have latex in it. All right, we've got our bunny. I'm going to grab a couple of foam dots. Or since this stuff is hanging off the side, I'm just going to use that. And I'm going to put some on the bottom and below his head. Just so he sticks out a little bit. And adhere him there. And a little dot of glue. Here it is. I'm actually going to put the glue on the handle with the bow on the top. There we go. And we do have, this wasn't in there, but it'll be out. Sorry. A couple little green grass to throw in there. How cute. How cute is that? So there is your Easter basket.